Introduction. The movement of an object is called motion. An object is said to be in motion if it changes its position with time. The mode of traveling to a specific place depends on how far is the destination. In ancient times, people used to travel by bullock cart or bicycle, etc. Later on, inventions were made and latest means of transport such as trains came. These are fast means of transport. The two places may be close enough or far away. How far is the moon from the earth? How long is the broom? All the questions are concerned about measurement. In this chapter, we will learn about different units of measurement and types of motion. The story of transport. To carry people and goods from one place to another is called transport. In ancient times, people move on foot and carry goods themselves. Some people used animals like horse, camels, etc. for traveling or carrying goods. Later, invention of wheel in making means of transport like bullock cart, horse carts and camel carts, bicycle, etc. In the beginning of 19th century, invention of steam engine introduced a new source of power to run transport vehicles. Steam engines used to pull trains on railroads for transport of goods and people. The steam engine was external combustion engine because the fuel, that is coal, is burnt outside the engine. Later on, internal combustion engine was made. Petrol or diesel as fuel gave transport vehicles called automobiles like cars, buses, trucks, motorcycle, etc. for travel on land and motorized boat and ships for travel on water. Aeroplanes were developed as means of transport in the early 20th century. Helicopters were also used as means of transport in air. Electric trains, monorails, supersonic aeroplanes, and spacecrafts are also some of the means of transport of 20th century. Moving things around us. An object is said to be in motion when its position changes with time. If an object moves fairly fast, then its movement can be observed easily. But if an object moves very slowly, then it becomes difficult to observe its movement immediately. A common characteristic of all moving bodies is that they change their position with time. For example, birds, cars, bus, train, etc. are moving objects. When an object is stationary, it is said to be at rest. A house and a tree are stationary and are at rest. Types of motion. Some of the different types of motions are rectilinear motion, circular motion, periodic motion, rotational motion, rectilinear motion, rectilinear motion. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. In other words, when an object moves along a straight line path, it is called rectilinear motion. For example, the movement of a bullet fired from a gun, motion of vehicle on a straight road, motion of a falling stone, etc. Circular motion. A round path having the shape of a circle is called circular path. When an object moves along a circular path, it is called circular motion. In circular motion, the distance of object from the center is always same. Movement of moon around the earth, movement of artificial satellites around the earth, the movement of tip of a hand of a watch, rotating fan, etc. are examples of circular motion. Periodic motion. The motion which repeats itself after regular intervals of time is called periodic motion. Revolution of Earth around the Sun. The rotation of Earth on its axis, swinging of pendulum, motion of child on the swing, strings of guitar are examples of periodic motion. Rotational motion. When an object turns about a fixed axis, it is called rotational motion. Turning of blades of fan, rotation of a windmill or firky, turning of a bicycle wheel, turning of ball, etc. are examples of rotational motion. Some measurements. Measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. This known fixed quantity is called unit. In our daily life, we can use a variety of objects as units of measurements, such as handspan, forearm length, or footstep, etc. But the length of handspan, forearm, and footstep varies from person to person. Thus, these cannot be used as standard units of measurements. Thus, it is necessary to have standard units of measurements for the sake of uniformity in measurements. A unit of measurement which has a fixed value which does not change from person to person or place to place is called a standard unit of measurement. For example, meter is standard unit of measurement of length. The result of measurement is expressed in two parts. One is a number which tells us the magnitude and other is the unit. A measurement is not complete unless both number and units are mentioned. For example, if length of a table is 12 meter, then 12 is the number and meter is the unit. Correct measurement of length. Length is the distance between the 2 points. Meter is used as a standard unit for measuring the length of an object. The type of unit used depends on magnitude of length to be measured. Length of a table can be measured in meters, but length of a pencil or a coin or thin wire cannot be measured in meters. Length of small objects can be measured in millimeters or centimeters. Similarly, type of devices used to measure length also depends on type of object to be measured. If the object is straight, a meter scale or measuring tape can be used. If the object is round, a measuring tape should be used. For example, the girth of a tree. The chest and waist of a person cannot be measured by using a meter scale. To take measurement by scale, place the scale along the object in such a way that the zero mark of the scale coincides with the left end of the object. The length of the object is then obtained by reading the scale division coinciding with the right. To measure the length, following precautions should be used. Place the scale in contact with the object along its length. The scale should be placed parallel to the side of the object being measured. While reading the scale, the eye must be placed vertically above the scale mark being read. If the scale has a damaged zero mark or broken left end, measure the length of an object starting from 1 cm mark of scale and then subtract 1 cm from the reading taken at the right end to get the actual length of object. Any other full mark of scale can also be used for this purpose. The value of this mark is then subtracted from the final reading. Measuring the length of a curved line. A wavy line is known as curve. The curved line cannot be measured directly by using a scale. It can be measured with the help of thread and scale. Use a thread to measure the length of the curved line. Put a knot on the thread near one of its ends. This knot will act as a starting point for measuring the length of curved line. Place the knot on a point A on the left end of the curved line with the help of left thumb and forefinger. In this way, run the thread along the curved line in little steps at a time, keeping the thread taut till the other end B of the curved line. Make an ink mark where it touches the end B. Now, strengthen the thread and measure its length between the knot and ink mark by keeping it along a scale. This will give us the length of the curved line.